Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hello there. This is Amber Betts with the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. And today I am here with Jacob Carey of Carey Building Services. Jacob, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
So we are a landscape and concrete contracting company. I do design build, but we don't do just regular landscape, regular concrete. I actually interject a lot of art into it. There's pretty wild stuff if you were to check out my website, careybuilding.com. I do stone art and numerous things that you wouldn't expect in that space. But with that, I also just bring that creativity to your patio. I'm the kind of guy you can bring out and you say what you want to use a space for, what your challenges are with your space. If you got drainage issues, a lot of us have drainage issues. In Colorado, we got clay soil. We can't let water sit around. I work with all those parameters and I give you something that's going to perform for what it is you want to use it. And I always come up with something that you wouldn't, that you didn't have in mind, but works 10 times better is usually how it turns out. And that's just on a walkthrough, and I can give you a price for just about all of your work right there on the spot. So we can talk a lot of options. And I try to just give everybody like a different experience working with a contractor. There's no waiting around for 2 weeks to get bids from me. I can give you pavers, concrete, different plantings and changes to your landscape. I can give you all those prices right there on the spot.
Amazing. That sounds cool. So tell us kind of your background and like how you got into the business.
About 8 years old, I started pushing a wheelbarrow. My parents flipped houses. Grew up doing that, laying tile, just working in construction, doing the landscapes on houses. And when I graduated high school, that's what I jumped right into. Took a little bit of college courses on small business, but just jumped right into framing and concrete and then right back into landscaping and just love it. That's just what I like to do. And then I got to a point where I got tired of putting in other people's poorly executed designs and poorly thought out designs. And I wanted to get mine out there and people have been just loving it.
Great. Congratulations. That's awesome. So it sounds like you kind of have a unique, style and the artistry that you mentioned and that kind of thing. But tell us more about that, or why your customers or clients, why do they pick you? What kind of sets you apart?
Well, I think a big one is just being able to price it right on the spot. If anybody's had contractors out and, you wait around a week and then you want another option, you wait around another week. I can kind of sketch it out, take your square footages down and give you a rough ballpark on a bunch of ideas, get you right down to a plan, and get you those prices. We do digital design. I use a drone. I fly overhead. I take shots of your property. I dimension it out that way, can sketch up and show you what the job is going to look like. Very unique solutions to everything too. We do xeriscape. I work with a lot of boulders, carve them into fire pits. I think it's more about the creative process. You just come to me with like a vague idea what you want to do and what your problems are, and I fix it all. Another thing we're doing is permaculture. So I'm getting a design certificate in that currently so that we can start introducing it's a method where you basically just let the plants go and they rejuvenate the land at the same time. You get to have food off of them. We can make your small property produce 3/4 of the food that you need to eat in your household, while rejuvenating the land and improving the quality of the soil. I mean, it's really nice if you've got a large property You just purchased, I'm looking at, sort of desertificated land and converting it and fixing it. It's just a lot of fun what we can do, but I think that's what brings people is my energy and the unique solutions and the ease of working with us.
I love that. So, I mean, that leads into the next question I was going to ask about news updates, specials. That's an update, but what else do you got going on?
I mean, that's a big one, is that permaculture. It is absolutely cool. Like I'm doing my class on a piece of land in northern New Mexico that shouldn't be the way it looks, but some simple changes, and I can take it from an arroyo and flash flooding and barren to a green property with a stream. That can apply to mountain properties. Colorado here, there's a lot of lands that are pretty inexpensive and not in great shape. They're kind of barren, and you can bring them, take them, turn them around, make them nice properties. That's super exciting. What's
the maintenance like on something like that?
It could be next to nothing. It could be just harvesting with a little fall cleanup, a little spring. It can be all the way to like vegetable gardens being added in. Obviously, you've got, that kind of work. But the biggest part of what we try to do is make it so you're not out there having to water it constantly. We're going to work with the land, the contours, but drainage, berms and swales and different techniques. Because the idea is like these things that we're going to put in the ground want to grow natively here. And we're going to put things to make it all work together. So it's just producing on its own. And after that, you're harvesting. And then obviously your annuals, your vegetable gardens, there's things like that.
Sure.
But we try to keep it down, because that's what if we have to maintain it too much, you're fighting the earth too hard.
Exactly. That sounds amazing. So what do you do anything to get involved in your community or give back or anything like that?
Carey Building actually likes to, especially around the holiday, Christmas, we'll kind of reach out through Nextdoor. If there's somebody struggling, the business will send them money. There's often, I have a soft spot for people with kids. I've got kids. So I see somebody struggling to like give Christmas to their kids, and the company will give them a sum of money. The other thing we're trying to do, and it's this permaculture, is I want to try to help rehabilitate the land, start bringing back nature. Every project we do, we try to throw in, if we can, I really push pollinating beds. We do a wildflower mix for that too, where I give them nice spots for this. You don't touch it, but you get those pollinators. So we're always trying to like improve the environment, improve the land, and then we do try to help out where we can.
Great. So I'm sure you're busy with work. You said you have kids and all that. So, but what are you doing outside of work? What do you do for fun?
I mean, I love work so much that there's not too much left over, but I do have a 72 Ranchero that out my garage that I'm working on resto modding, and it gives me a little hobby time if I need to get my mind onto something else.
Cool. All right. Well, any last words or anything we didn't touch on?
No, I guess not. I mean, that was pretty good.
Well, tell the listeners the best way to reach you. You mentioned your website, but say your website again, phone number, all that good stuff. Yeah,
you can look us up, careybuilding.com. That's CAREY building.com. The phone number is 720-608-9796. You can call or text. You can book us for a free consultation through the website. Real easy. Make it easy to schedule me to come out and make it easy to work with.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, Jacob. Thanks to the listeners. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.